Welcome back. So in this video we're going to be talking about what role does psychic play in mediumship. A viewer asked me how does this work, and in this video that's what we're going to be talking about. Now I always look at the communication as a three-pointed triangle. The spirit world, the medium, the client. And what we're trying to do is keep this in complete harmony throughout the reading. So my link to the spirit world, I'm receiving information, and the link's running well is solid. That's fine. We've got the client and their loved one that's in the spirit world, and the memories and the love and everything that they're thinking about, and that's solid. That's in place. And then we've got the relationship between me and the client, or you and the client. And what we're trying to work on is making sure that this information is being received correctly. And what we have to do is we have to feel for that in a psychic way. Now, don't mistake what I'm saying. I'm not saying dive into their energy and make sure that you're gleaning information in a psychic mechanic. I don't mean that at all. But what we're trying to do is engage with a client, and we need to know that it's being received well, genuinely, which could then lead on to a ton of other videos. But for this one, what role does it play is we're trying to gauge that our information is correct and being received correctly. Now, it's slightly different when it comes to demonstrating and a one-to-one, so I'll cover the one-to-one first. And this will be if they're not opening up. We need them to open up. We need them to be comfortable. Now, we may have to change our personality. We may be too strong. We may be too boisterous, too loud. And in front of you, you might have someone that's, very introvert and not used to this kind of social interaction. So you're going to have to adjust your personality because you can feel that it's just not working out right. And that would be a psychic mechanic. That would be, this ain't working, I'm going to have to change something. We need to make sure that the energy is in the right place for us to be working in, and making sure that the communication unfolds at the rate that we want it to be unfolding at, and still being received. This would be an awareness within your psyche to know that this is failing or this is going wonderfully well, and then making the changes accordingly. So that is a huge role that it is playing. Again, I emphasize that we're not getting information from their energy. We're just making sure that the energy is flowing correctly between me and the client. That way, keeping that harmony of that communication triangle, which I have done a video on. You can go back and watch that on the channel. The difference between a one-to-one and that of a public demonstration is that we're looking to keep that bottom one. So it'll be the spirit world, the medium, the audience. The audience are all expecting a communication from their loved ones in the spirit, and my connection to the spirit here should be solid because I'm out public demonstrating. So again, the only failing link here in this triangle would be me and the audience. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the majority of the audience on board. I don't mean in like a trickery or anything like that, but if you get up and you start swearing and you're not a very nice personality, or you're very monotone and very boring, you're going to lose your audience pretty quickly. It's not really going to go well for you, that demonstration. So that's where we would have to adjust again our personality. This could be anywhere in the world, that there's different cultures, different backgrounds. So a joke in one area would not go down well in another area, and you would lose a chunk of your audience. So we're looking at keeping the majority on board. And how is that different to that of a one-to-one? If you lose one in the one-to-one, you've lost the whole reading. If you lose one in your audience, it's not so bad. You're still getting to the minds of all the other people that are within the room. And this is, again, a psychic awareness. This is a psychic mechanic that we are using to read the energy of the room. Is this being received well? Am I going okay? Is the energy okay? How long can I go for? Am I going to make time? And we can start to gauge through our psychic awareness how the room is receiving your style and your mediumship. So I think you'd agree it's kind of a huge role to be played. It's also a huge part of it that we are not entering the energy of the client in the sense of receiving information, like go gleaning their belongings that are within that, and equally that shouldn't be done outside on a public platform. But to gauge how they are taking that, we can all relate to it in a conversation manner that we've had in our earthly lives, in our everyday. We've all had that conversation where it ain't so great, and you're kind of checking your watch, like, I want to get out of here. This don't feel right. This is awkward. It means that something's not in sync. Maybe you've got different views, or your personalities are so different you just don't blend very well together. That would be a psychic awareness in your everyday without you realizing you're using it. In mediumship, you are purposefully using these mechanics to make sure that the mediumship is working, flowing, and being received well. So hopefully that answers the viewer's question now. For me, it is a huge role. I'm not a big fan of working psychically. I don't like the idea or the purpose of it. It's not for me. But there are bits of it that are fundamental to the development of mediumship. We need to know how it's being received. We need to understand if we're too much of a personality or too boring as a personality, and make those adjustments accordingly to make sure it's received well. So get in the comments, let me know what you think. Like it if you liked it. Subscribe if you aren't already. And I'll catch you lot in the next video.